Okay, yeah, here's something new I bought. It's my, this machine. I bought this machine. It's a Crain Bearcat 700 scraper. It's for scraping floors. There's this blade, there's blades and the stuff that hooks on the front here. And there's no front wheels, okay? This thing's massively heavy. It weighs about 150 pounds. I got it hooked up to my chainfall. Yeah, this is my new Crain Bearcat 700. Let me show it to you up closer. Yeah, this is the bottom view. This is the really important part of the whole deal. This is it's got an eccentric, right there. Unfortunately, I can't show you how it works. Well, you can take my word for it. Yesterday I had the fan shroud off, and I plugged it in. Of course, it does work. I had the fan shroud off, and I was buffing the thing up a little bit. This is what it looks like up closer, okay? And the wheels have what I call a greasy buildup on them, as you can tell. But it's got this bizarre action, okay? This thing's an eccentric. And this is like a piece of 3-inch channel, apparently. And this thing looks to be about a 1/2 by 1.5 cold rolled, okay? And right there, where I'm pointing, that's a piece of pipe, okay? Thick wall stuff. Schedule 80 maybe, or even thicker. And inside that, where it's all darkness, there's a big, massive piece of brass. Probably something like 1 or 1.1 diameter brass. That is what this thing oscillates up and down this way, okay? Forward and back, mostly. But it also goes side to side some, which is kind of weird. It goes in and out, sort of like a piston in an oversized bore. It's got what I call slop. But anyway, what happens is, both sides of the blade, that being the right side over here and the left side over here, it moves like this. It sort of goes, it's hard to describe. It sort of goes like yay, okay? It's made for show, and it's got this bizarre little linkage piece over here, which I haven't entirely figured out yet. But apparently, this little piece, I call it the swinging arm or whatever this little thing is here. This piece is the only thing that keeps the front end of this thing in registration with the frame. If it wasn't for this piece, this thing could go all over the place. See, there's the bottom bearing, that thing we talked about earlier a minute ago. And up at the top, there's another. See, up at the top, there's that orange piece of flat bar, okay? And that bears on this, which is a brass, a piece of brass, which is about 1.25 inches across and 1/4 inch thick. And it's the entire length. And it's fastened to the top by these two, okay? That being this one. This camera takes forever to focus. Anyway, it fastens to the top. Those two where my fingers are pointing, okay? That's the top bearing. But there's nothing on the left and the right sides of this piece of channel. So what that means is, like I said earlier, the blade moves sort of like this. The sides, the tips, the left end and the right end, travel more than the center. So I need this to scrape that fiberglass off that warehouse floor. And I'm thinking, along with my flamer, my Super Harbor Freight flamer torch, to soften it up some, and this thing with the blades on it. Here's the blades, okay? Yeah, here's the blades. And this is the part that holds the blade. This thing here. Yeah, this thing goes on the thing here. Okay, this bolts on there, like yay, okay? With a couple of Allens, right? And this thing's pretty heavy. But this thing itself is pretty heavy. But yeah, it fastens with Allen's, and there's some, and here's the scraper blades, okay? They'd be like that, sticking out the front of the machine, okay? And you can tell they're, I don't know, maybe you can't tell in these images, but these things are not perfectly straight because they, maybe they are. But anyway, they're, the action of the thing is sort of like this. Or it's more like this. It's hard to describe. Kind of like this. I can tell you one thing for sure. When you plug this thing in, the whole machine, let's see what the motor says. Yeah, when you plug this thing in, because it's a 3/4 horse and whatever RPM it is, this thing shakes like a mofo, the entire machine. And all of these are castellated locknuts, okay? That one. All of them. It's all held together with these castellated locknuts. And this thing is loose, and it's apparently supposed to be loose. Because they're like, they're either shoulder bolts or there's some sort of spacer on there. But this thing shakes like a mofo, man. And it may not be much fun to use, I've sort of decided. But, because it shakes profoundly. But there's my, my elephant hoist and my ceiling rig. Yeah, this is the world's finest lifting hoist, by the way. It's an elephant chain block, made in Japan. But yeah, these are the good ones. She's a good one up there. Oh yeah, it's a good one. And it's all good. Yeah. This is a famous one here. There, not so famous. It's the crain bearcat. I'm not sure where this thing is made. I think the motor's made in USA. There's your patent number. That's exciting. There you go, look it up. Yeah. Yeah, but here's what happens. Okay, number one, because of the way the blades are held in, here's two of the original, these are the original bolts, okay, they're Allen's. Let me give you a close-up view here. This thing take forever to focus or what? Yeah, there's the original, goddamn camera. Yeah, there they are, okay. Yeah, those are the bolts that hold it, that hold the blade in. They also hold in this giant thing that clamps down on top of the blade. Oh! Yeah, but what happens is, the way these blades fit, it's kind of lousy. Yeah, what happens is, blade goes in here. Whoops, that's the wrong blade. Let me get the correct blade for you. Oh! Yeah. Here's the one of the correct blades. And, yeah, let's see, I gotta swing this around for you. Yeah. See what happens? Here's where the blade goes, with that other thing on top of it, of course, okay? But, yeah. This camera takes forever to focus. Yeah, but, see what happens? The bolts, the blade, which is getting tossed around like a mofo, like wildfire. The only thing holding the blade is the two bolts and the clamping pressure. So what happens is, it's impossible to ring down on the bolts tight enough to keep the blade stationary because the machine is so violent. So what happens is the bolts get peened out on their threads, which is not a good thing. It's got nagty, or what I call not a good thing. You can also see the mark where the blade used to be when it was mounted in the machine, and you notice above it, right up in here, you know, these things, these little spacer blocks, either the blade should be about 3/4 of an inch longer so it bears on those blocks, or there should be something else like a spacer, like a piece of 5/8 or 3/4 by 3/32 flat bar between these little blocks, between those little blocks on the end and the back of the blade. That way, the bolts wouldn't be the entire thing bearing all the brunt of the abuse. You know, the emotional abuse this thing goes through is it causes trauma. This thing yeah, this thing would put you in the insane asylum if you had to hold on to the handles of it, because it's unbelievably violent. This thing shakes like unbelievable. And remember, it's a Crane Bearcat 700, and it's a slow focusing camera. So thanks for checking in today. And there's what it looks like when the camera focuses. Yeah. Okay. Hi. I'll see you later then. And yeah. Have a good day. Okay, bye-bye now.